You're up early.
I have a business at the office. Did you sleep well?
Yes, I suppose. Teresa gave me something before I went to bed. Just coffee, Anita.
Now, Amelia, you know what the doctor said. You must eat something in the morning.
Careful, Vernon. Someone might hear you and think you care.
You're in a cranky mood. Has Teresa given you your medication this morning? I swear that girl...
I spoke to your new secretary yesterday. Your business meeting, I'm sure. How many does that make this year? 4?
Don't be absurd.
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Darlene.
Daddy.
My goodness, you look lovely today, my dear.
Why, thank you. I'm meeting Lionel for lunch at the Mortimer Club.
The Mortimer Club? Someone is trying to impress you.
It's nothing but a cheap ploy. Doesn't that cad care that you're still a married woman?
Vernon, don't.
It's all right, Mother. I know you're disappointed that Roger and I are divorcing, Daddy. I'm truly sorry for that.
You're the one who's throwing your life away for the likes of Lionel Sinclair. My God.
Roger and I haven't been happy for a long time. We don't have children, so what point is there in staying together, except to make each other miserable?
And what has that to do with the sanctity of marriage? It's like my dear friend George W. says.
Oh, please. Those tacky barbecues? I hardly see what he has to do with Darlene's situation.
Stop arguing. Daddy, you know I love you, and I'd do anything for you, except for this. I can't stay in this marriage any longer.
Because of Sinclair?
Because Roger and I have grown apart. It's not about Lionel or you.
Of course it is. He's driven a wedge into your marriage and you've allowed it.
Vernon, what a terrible thing to say. She's done no such thing.
Of course she has. What a disgrace. A divorce. People are already talking.
Vernon, stop it.
And just what do you suppose people are saying, Daddy? That I'm so terrible for seeing Lionel before my divorce is final? Or that it is a disgrace that you still have Roger living in this house?
And I'm not even here to defend myself.
Roger, my boy, I'm so sorry you had to hear that. My daughter could take a lesson in keeping a civil tongue.
Don't be sorry, Vernon. Actually, I think Darlene is right.
You do?
Yep. The gossip is getting out of control.
There, you see. Even your precious Roger agrees with me.
Don't worry. We're not going to be their topic of the hour for much longer.
As long as you're living in this house, we will be.
That's why I'm moving out. Today.
Moving out? But why? I told you that isn't necessary. You'll always be a part of my family, no matter what foolish choices my daughter decides to make.
Daddy!
Vernon, perhaps this is for the best.
She's right, Vernon. My presence here is just causing tension. It really is best if I leave.
Son, I don't care about the gossip. Don't forget, I own half this town and everyone in it.
Roger, I want to talk to you in the foyer, please.
Young lady, you forget whose house this is.
This is none of your business, Daddy. For once, just stay out of it.
Let's go, Darlene. Excuse us.
Can you believe this, Amelia? She's ready to throw everything away for a romp in the hay with Lionel Sinclair, a carpetbagger to boot.
Stay out of this, Vernon. You'll only end up making it worse for all of them.
On the contrary, my dear, I'll set everything right. I swear it.
Suppose you tell me what this grand gesture is really about?
What? I don't understand.
Oh, please. Offering to move out of the mansion when you and Daddy have fought it at every turn. I was beginning to wonder if I'd be the one to leave.
It isn't some ploy. I'm staying with Mark Robertson until I can move into my new place.
I'm almost afraid to ask. What about the divorce?
Yeah, the divorce.
Just what I thought.
I've decided not to contest it.
What?
I'm calling my lawyer when I get to the office. I won't fight you, I promise.
I don't understand. Just like that.
I love you, Darlene. I always have, and I always will. I just don't want to hurt you anymore.
And Lionel?
As much as it kills me to think of you with him, I won't interfere.
Telephone for you, Miss Darlene.
Thank you, Anita. I'll take it in the library. I hope you meant what you said, Roger. It will be better for everyone.
Well?
I did what you told me. I hated every second, but I did it to the letter.
Good job, boy.
I still don't see how this is going to help me get Darlene back. We're further apart than ever, and if I'm living at Mark's...
Don't you worry about a thing, Roger. You've done your part, now leave the rest in my capable hands.
Chet, do you have those geology reports from the Willis Point property for me?
Yeah, Delilah, I have them, and I won't tell you what I had to do to get them.
I don't care. What am I looking at here? Layman's terms, none of that industry crap that nobody but geologists understand.
Let me see if I can make this simple enough. Oil. Acres and acres of that high-grade, bubbling crude.
Oh, my God. Are you sure?
I doubt you'll have to dig 500 feet for it. It's under a thin layer of shale, so it's gone undetected. It'll probably cost us to get through that, but shouldn't be a big problem.
Finally, this could put Dane Van Buren in a whole new league.
Oh, hell, I'd say it could be bigger than that. The old deposit extends out past the coastline. It's definitely a separate deposit from the one on Montgomery's adjacent property.
Chet, I could just kiss you. We'll all make a fortune.
I don't know how you got the broker to sell you those oil leases, but hold on to them. Keep this under wraps for now. But Vernon Montgomery knew what he was sitting next door to.
That's the best part. Revenge is delicious when it's served up cold.
You never told me why you have an in for Montgomery.
Really? I've never told you.
No.
Then I suppose it must be none of your business. You're my geologist, not my father confessor.
Oh, yeah? Well, you didn't seem too interested in geology last night, although I guess there was some drilling involved.
I'm always interested in geology when it pertains to oil.
Well, in that case, I think we should lock the door and go over these reports more intimately.
You know, Chad, I'm about to make you a very rich man.
Provided our little secret is safe.
Don't worry, it is. Now, show me how you plan to drill through the shale. I want a hands-on demonstration.
Oh, Delilah.
So Roger claims he's moving out of the mansion.
And you don't believe him?
No, Lionel, I don't. Daddy has fought so hard to keep us from divorcing, and Roger has used it to his advantage every step of the way. I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Maybe. But at the same time, I wouldn't put it past Vernon to try and manipulate the situation.
Daddy can do whatever he likes. Roger and I may have to work together at Montgomery Oil, but that will be it.
And you really think Roger will be satisfied with that? Why don't you come work for me at the Cinco refineries?
You know why, Lionel.
Darlene, I know you think it's your destiny to run Montgomery Oil, but at what cost?
It is my destiny, Lionel. I have earned the right.
The right to what? Be a puppet for your daddy? You're nothing more than a glorified secretary.
That's not true. My work at Montgomery Oil is very important. You are no gentleman, Lionel Sinclair.
Now, honey, you know I didn't mean it like that. I just think you're wasting your talents there.
I don't expect you to understand this, Lionel, but I can't leave Montgomery Oil. I just can't. I won't.
But why? Help me understand.
I'm the son who was supposed to follow in his footsteps.
Ben, I can't thank you enough. I'm not sure what I've done to deserve your loyalty, but I certainly am grateful for it.
Well, it's my pleasure, Delilah. I think it's high time some of the smaller companies get a piece of the action around here.
If this geology reports are as accurate as Chet Robertson says they are, we're all about to be very wealthy. You're sure you've been completely discreet?
Oh, trust me, Delilah. Nobody knows what's under that property but you and me. We'll sign the final papers tomorrow morning at the bank. Say 9?
9 it is. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Goodbye.
Hello, Ben.
You! What are you doing here?
So, you're doing business with Dane Van Buren these days, are you?
I don't think we have an appointment. If you'd be so kind...
I imagine Delilah must be very excited. I know I was on the eve of my first big oil deal.
I don't know what you're talking about. Get the hell out of my office!
I was speaking with your supervisor, Daniel Hubbard. Look what he left carelessly laying around on his desk.
What is that?
Your personnel file. quite an interesting read, Mr. Chamberlain. Your wife must be very forgiving.
You bastard.
Oh, she doesn't know. Well, I suppose that is for the best. After all, what if the children were to find out that their father was nearly suspended for sexually harassing a male coworker? Indeed.
What do you want?
Next to nothing. A pittance, really. Just the bill of sale to a little piece of property on Willis Point.
Thanks for letting me stay with you, Mark. I really appreciate it.
I told you you could stay as long as you want. I need a roommate anyway.
No, this is only temporary. That is, if Vernon can come through like he's promised.
Roger, I saw Darlene with Linus and Claire at the Mortimer Club. They looked pretty close to me. I think it's time you faced facts.
How can I blame her? I've heard her. And she's using Sinclair to get back at me.
So now you've put your marriage in the hands of Vernon Montgomery? Good God, man, have you lost your mind?
Hey, I might not always approve of the man's methods, but I've learned one thing about my father-in-law. He gets what he wants.
And what is it that he wants?
He wants me married to his daughter, cranking out babies until he gets his male heir.
And that's what you want?
I love Darlene, and I'm willing to do anything to be with her. And in case you haven't noticed, the Montgomery Mansion's nothing to slouch at.
Hey, I know it's not a palace, but I decorated myself.
Yeah, except that it could fit in one of the Montgomery closets.
So why did you leave then? You said Vernon offered to let you stay on.
Vernon told me to. He said that it's part of his plan, whatever that means. God, Mark, you gotta promise to keep this under your hat. If Darlene ever finds out.
She won't hear it from me, but I definitely think you have good reason to worry.
Why? What do you mean?
You're in bed with the devil and his daughter, Raj. Don't think for a second that Montgomery won't want something in return.
As long as he can save my marriage, I don't care what he wants. He can have it.
Ben, I've been trying to call you all day. Why weren't you at the bank this morning?
It's over, Delilah.
What do you mean it's over? Why are you packing your office?
I'm leaving the agency, isn't it obvious? It's all over.
My land.
It's not for sale any longer.
Not for sale? That's impossible. You said...
Nobody in this agency knew about the oil, Delilah. One of your people turned on you and me in the process.
Who bought my land, Ben?
Vernon Montgomery.
God, no. How could you sell it to him? Of all people, Ben.
He's blackmailing me. He got a hold of my personnel file and threatened to use certain things against me. He said he'd tell my family.
I don't give a damn about you or your family. I have signed lease options on that oil, Ben.
My hands are tied, Delilah. What can I do?
You can prepare for the biggest lawsuit of your career. I'll break you for this, Ben Chamberlain. I swear to God I will.
No money changed hands, Delilah. I hate to say it, but I think you found those options are worthless.
We'll see. Apparently, there are other ways to make you pay. Vernon's not the only one who can expose you.
Please just leave me alone. I didn't have a choice.
Of course you did, Ben. You just made the wrong one. I'll see you in court with a copy of your personnel file in my hands.
Oh my God. What am I gonna do?
Roger, are you waiting for Daddy too?
He called and asked me to come to his office. I have no idea what he wants.
I have a meeting in an hour.
You had a meeting. I've just secured one of the largest oil deposits in Louisiana. Montgomery Oil is about to double in size, maybe even triple.
You're kidding.
Daddy, that's wonderful. I'll let my department know right away.
That's no longer your responsibility, my pet. You're about to take on a more productive role here at Montgomery Oil. You both are.
What are you talking about, Vernon?
I've decided to give you both a higher office here at Montgomery Oil. Now that Reginald is retiring, I'll need you more than ever. We're all going to do this together.
You're joking, Daddy, really?
Not about something like this. Darling, you claim this is what you want, so here's your chance.
It is what I've always wanted. You know it is.
Good. So I trust this will put an end to this foolishness about a divorce.
What?
Well, surely you two can't hope to work so closely together if you still plan to drag each other and the family through a messy ordeal like that. Darlene, be sensible. Think of the company.
You knew about this, didn't you, Roger? That's why you were so willing to move out of the mansion. Hypocrite.
I'm just as surprised as you are. Vernon, I think Darlene's gonna need some time to think about this. And me too, for that matter.
There's no time and there's nothing to think about. Darlene, I'm handing you the opportunity you've always wanted, and I'm only asking for one little thing in return.
It's a good thing you had Ben Chamberlain sign these lease options. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
So, you really think we have a case, Mark? Can we stop Vernon from stealing my oil? Hell, my entire future!
Dead in his tracks. He may own the land, but he can't touch what's under the surface. Well, not for now, anyway.
You're a genius, Mark. I knew I could count on you.
Don't praise me yet. This is all speculation. Pulling it off in front of a judge is another matter.
He doesn't own everyone in this county. File the injunction, Mark.
My secretary is preparing the paperwork. I'll file it by lunchtime. We should be able to serve Montgomery by the end of the day.
I'll serve him myself.
Oh, Vernon, you didn't.
I certainly did. Darlene would have thrown her marriage to the wolves, and for what? Lionel Sinclair. I had to do something.
But to make her and Roger work so closely at Montgomery Oil, why?
I need an heir, Amelia, and I'm not getting any younger. I can't take any chances, especially when it comes to the likes of Lionel Sinclair.
You have another daughter, Vernon.
Melissa is a sweet child, but a bit of a ninny. I can't count on her to give me an heir. By who?
What a terrible thing to say.
You know I love both my girls, but facts are facts, my dear.
But forcing Darlene to stay in an unhappy marriage... Oh, Vernon.
Roger loves Darlene, and he'll make her happy again. He's sworn to me he'll do whatever it takes.
Roger swore to you. In exchange for what?
You needn't concern yourself with that, Amelia. That boy loves your daughter, and that's all that matters. Trust me when I say it's all under control.
For you, maybe. Always you.
Sir, Delilah Dane is here to see you.
I can just imagine why.
She insisted on speaking with you.
What does she want?
I'm up for a little entertainment. Show her in, Sims.
Yes, sir.
This is a bit bold, even for you, Vernon. At least have the decency to do this away from the house. Pretend like you care about my feelings.
Calm down, Amelia. This is all business. Have Teresa bring you a sedative and a brandy while I take care of this.
Not yet. I think I'll stay. Unless there's something you don't want me to know about.
Oh, hello, Amelia.
Delilah, you didn't have to come all this way to congratulate me. How gracious of you. You have 1 minute.
Apparently, you don't recognize graciousness any more than you do victory.
Now, that sounds like sour grapes. It was only business.
How did you find out about my Willis Point leases?
You mean the leases on my property?
We'll see, you old fool. If you think I'm gonna roll over and play dead for you, think again.
I bought that property fair and square, Delilah. Your minute is up. Sam's?
I know my way out, Vernon, especially out the back. Remember? Lots of practice.
Excuse me?
That's right, Amelia. Why do you think he's so hell-bent on destroying me? He destroys everything he can't have.
You're a hateful woman. I want you out of my house this minute.
Don't worry, I'm leaving. But not before I give you this.
What is this?
Vernon Montgomery, you have hereby been served.
What?
That's right, you miserable old man. Mark Robertson filed for an injunction to stop you from drilling. You're not going to touch one drop of my oil.
Your oil? Darling, this is a temporary setback at most. My lawyers will punch this full of holes before the ink dries. I assure you, that oil is mine.
You may own the land, but I have signed oil leases that say I'm entitled to everything under the surface. That's where the oil is, remember?
So you're not going down without a fight. I figured you wouldn't. It will make it all that much sweeter when you lose everything.
Will I? Looks like Ben was one step ahead of you even before he caved in to your blackmail. He sold you that land knowing that he had signed the leases over to me.
But I own the land itself.
And that makes you nothing but a landlord. See you in court, Vernon.
Sims, come in here.
Sir?
Get Ben Chamberlain on the phone. I'll take it in my office.
Would you care to explain this to me, Vernon?
It's simple. I'm going to crush that little girl.
I can hardly believe it myself, Lionel. I never thought Daddy would go this far.
You think he's doing it to manipulate you, don't you?
Of course he is. He knows how closely Roger and I will have to work together.
But
it's what I've always wanted. That's what is so infuriating. Daddy has me right where he wants me, and he knows it.
if you want it, you should go for it. Who cares what Vernon's motives are?
It's not that easy, Lionel. There's you to consider.
Me? You don't have to worry about that. I'm fine with whatever you decide, as long as it makes you happy.
There's more. In exchange, I have to call off the divorce.
What?
He wants me to stay married to Roger.
How can he manipulate his own daughter like that? I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Now I understand why you have to turn him down.
I didn't say I was turning him down. Darling, haven't you been listening?
Darlene, you're not going to agree to this, are you?
As a matter of fact, I have made my decision.
Hello.
Chamberlain, it's Vernon Montgomery.
I figured you'd be calling.
I assume you've been sold.
You fool. Do you have any idea what you've done?
Oh, I think I have a pretty good idea.
Then you realize I meant every word of what I said?
I know that, too.
Delilah must be giving you a big slice of the pie. How much was your family worth in the end?
You bastard. You came into my office and threatened me with my family. You're a billionaire, for God's sake.
Was it really worth tearing my life apart?
You lied about those leases, Ben. Surely you don't plan to perjure yourself in court. That land is legally mine, and you know it.
You think that land is yours?
You're talking foolishness, Chamberlain.
Really? I never filed the escrow papers. As a matter of fact, I have the cashier's check right here in my pocket.
You know, the one you made out to me, personally.
Damn you, Chamberlain. You're going to pay for this.
I imagine you're right, Vernon. But it will make it easier knowing that my blood is on your hands instead of that all.
What? You're not making any sense.
Goodbye, Vernon.
Oh my God, what a damned fool. What the hell am I gonna do now?
Next time on Eye of the Storm, two rivals.
I'm going to crush that little girl.
Revenge is delicious when it's served up cold.
One fights to keep his empire.
We must have that land.
And one schemes to take it away.
I have good news of my own.
But how far will Vernon go?
I was hoping I wouldn't be forced.
To protect his legacy.
Forced? To do what? Please consider what you're about to do.
A shale barrier won't stop me, and neither will that foolish little girl.
Oh my God!
Next time on Eye of the Storm.